I'm going to try and give some clarity on the information from the COVID-19 link from the government of Jamaica. I am responsible for making my own travel arrangements at my own expense for my return to Jamaica, and the government of Jamaica bears no obligation to me in this regard. At this time, the government of Jamaica requires that I be mandatory quarantined at a place designated by the government for 14 days. I don't think anyone has any issue with that. I don't think they ever had any issue with that before. If that step had been taken a long time ago, people would have been through that quarantine. They're going into 2 months now being isolated and quarantined from the rest of the world. And that is also stressful as well. So people need to bear in mind that this is not easy. This is ongoing and it has a lot of frustration had to it. Or such further prior as considered necessary by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The government may designate my home in Jamaica as the place where I am mandatory quarantine if, prior to my arrival in Jamaica, the residential address provides me inspected and approved by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and I further consent to. Keeping a smartphone with me, charged at all times, which has the Jamaica COVID-19 mobile app downloaded, GPS permission enabled, and have my location tracked for the duration of the time that I am in quarantine, in isolation, to confirm. So this is what you would have to do if they're going to choose to quarantine you at home. Obviously, they won't have enough space for thousands of Jamaicans who would like to return. So this decision will make only on arrival in Jamaica. So that's what I'm getting from all this information. So you have to go on the COVID-19 Jamaica site. You have to fill the form up. You have to agree to the terms and conditions that's there, and they will receive it when you finish filling this form up. Where the clarity is locked is you are working overseas, you're not responsible for yourself. So now you don't know what to do. You don't know if your company will do this information for you or you're supposed to do it yourself. As I said, there is no clarity with the information. You're not getting any clear instruction on what to do or what will be done. I also expressly consent to the following COVID-19 testing protocol. Yes, I think the whole world would agree with that as well. Now, here is the tricky part. This part I would really like to say out loud. Prior to release from quarantine, if my initial test of COVID-19 is positive, or I develop any symptom of COVID-19 during my period of quarantine, I will be placed in, as you know, mandatory isolation until I have fully recovered. So that's good to agree with. I don't think anyone should dispute that because it's for the good of everyone. Now I go further into their details, which will make some people upset, or most people, who knows that they're not responsible for themselves being away from home. I agree to the further sample of testing being taken during my prior isolation. I will be responsible for payment of $20 per day. I'll say again. I will be responsible for payment of $20 per day for for 3 meals while in mandatory quarantine, other than in my home, or someone else would provide 3 meals for you. If wherever you're quarantined, they're close by, they can drop your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Otherwise, from that. But if you're in the facility that they placed you in, you will have to pay the Jamaican government $20 per day. So I think that is where it will raise some alarm, knowing that you're not responsible for yourself here. And as I read earlier, you don't know what to do with this COVID-19 site, because you don't know if you're supposed to fill it out. You don't know if your company is supposed to fill it out. So that's my take on it.